Python, create list of object references. I want to clean up some code I've written, in order to scale the magnitude of what I'm trying to do. In order to do so, I'd like to ideally create a list of references to objects, so that I can systematically set the objects, using a loop, without actually have to put the objects in list. I've read about the way Python handles references in PassBy, but haven't quite found a way to do this effectively. To better demonstrate what I'm trying to do, I'm using Bokeh, and would like to set up a large number of select boxes. Each box looks like this. Setting up each select is fine, when I only have a few, but when I have 20, my code gets very long and unwieldy. What I'd like to be able to do, is have a list of sample underscore list equals, select underscore 1 underscore name, select underscore 2 underscore name, etc., that I can then loop through, to set the values of each select underscore 1 underscore name, select underscore 2 underscore name, etc. However, I want to have my reference select underscore 1 underscore name still point to the correct value, rather than necessarily refer to the value by calling sample underscore list 0. I'm not sure if this is doable. If there's a better way to do this than creating a list of references, please let me know. I know that I could just create a list of objects, but I'm trying to avoid that. For reference, I'm on Python 2.7, Anaconda distribution, Windows 7. Thanks. To follow up on Alex Martelli's post below. The reason why I thought this might not work is because when I tried a mini test with a list of lists, I didn't get the results I wanted. To demonstrate, results in x equals 1, 2, 3, 1, but if instead I use test 0 equals 1, 2, then x remains 1, 2, 3, although test itself reflects the change. Drawing a parallel back to my original example, I thought that I would see the same results as from setting to equal. Is this not true?
Every Python list always is internally an array of references. In Python, which is no doubt what you're using, at the C level, it's an array of pyobject** pointers to Python objects. No copies of the objects get made implicitly. Rather, again, in Python, each object's reference count gets incremented when the U at the object, actually a reference to it, to the list. In fact, when you do want an object's copy, you need to specifically ask for one, with the copy module in general, or sometimes with type-specific copy methods. Multiple references to the same object are internally pointers to exactly the same memory. If an object is mutable, then mutating it gets reflected through all the references to it. Of course, there are immutable objects, strings, numbers, tuples, to which such mutation cannot apply. So when you do e.g, each of the names, as long as it's in scope, still refers to exactly the same object as the corresponding item in sample underscore list. In other words, using sample underscore list 0 and select underscore 1 underscore name is totally equivalent as long as both references to the same object exist. IOW², your stated purpose, is already accomplished by Python's most fundamental semantics. Now, please edit the queue to clarify which behavior you're observing that seems to contradict this, versus which behavior you think you should be observing and desire, and we may be able to help further because to this point, all the above observations amount to or getting exactly the semantics you asked for, so steady as she goes, is all I can practically suggest. Added, better here in the answer than just below, in comments smiley face, note the focus on mutating operation. The op_trig test 0 equals SUMList followed by test 0 dot append and saw SUMList mutated accordingly, then trig test 0 equals 1, 2, and was surprised to see SUMList not changed. But that's because assignment to a reference is not a mutating operation on the object that said reference used to indicate. It just resets the reference, decrement the previously referred to object's reference count, and that's it. If you want to mutate an existing object, which needs to be a mutable one in the first place, but a list satisfies that, you need to perform mutating operations on it, through whatever reference, doesn't matter. For example, besides append and many other named methods, one mutating operation on a list is assignment to a slice, including the wholest slice, denoted as column. So, test 0, column equals 1, 2 would in fact mutate some list very different from test 0 equals 1, 2, which assigns to a reference, not to a slice.
This is not recommended, but it works. You can use select_1_name, select_2_name, etc. directly because they're set in the local scope to the special locals list. A cleaner approach is to use a dictionary, e.g. and reference selects, select_1_name in your code, and you can iterate over selects.keys or selects items.